Let's connect. Lights, camera, page, stories, every stage. Reels, reads, real talk of the show. Come on in, let's connect.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Stewart Connects, Reads, Reels, and Real Talk. I'm Nalo, and today we're talking reels. Before we go any further, please take a minute to like and subscribe. Like this video, subscribe to my channel. A few weeks ago, I had an opportunity to see a movie called Hard Truths. It is a Bleecker Street Media film directed by Mike Lee. It was a limited release, so you're probably going to need to check it out on a streaming service. What is Hard Truths about? Patsy, angry and depressed, lashes out at her family and strangers and isolates herself from everyone except her sister Chantel, who seems to have a joyous spirit despite any obstacles that she may have. Patsy is brilliantly played by Marianne Jean-Baptiste, and her sister Chantel is played by Michelle Austin. So let's delve into Hard Truths. As soon as the movie starts, we find that Patsy is married and she has a grown son that lives at home. She spends most of her day when her son is around berating him, ignoring her husband when she's not berating him, and being unhappy. The acting was impeccable. Her sister, Chantel, runs a beauty shop. And so you have an opportunity to see her chopping it up with the women that she's servicing. And because at first I was like, what's going on here? Why are we seeing her? But I quickly realized that the director was showing us the difference between Patsy's life and Chantel's life. So as you go along, you find that Chantel has two daughters, both of whom she's close with, as opposed to her sister Patsy, who has a son. So as we get further into the movie, I found that I was laughing a lot. And maybe I shouldn't have, because Patsy is just so mean and says such outrageously offensive things that I probably shouldn't have laughed, but I found myself laughing through the whole movie. It reminded me of Grumpy Old Men. And if you ever saw that, the interactions that Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau had with each other was hilarious, because this is really nothing funnier to me than seeing people completely their bad behavior is on display. And so because you would never do or say those things. So you get an opportunity to laugh at somebody else doing or saying things that you would never do or say. Well, that's Patsy. She says things that no one would ever say. She's mean for no reason. She's nasty for no reason. She snaps at people for no reason. And you're laughing, but you're still trying to figure out, what is her deal? Like, why are you like this? Okay, she's depressing, not gonna lie. I appreciated the story because I appreciated the relationship between the two sisters. When it comes to our relationships with our siblings, we almost think that there's like one way to do it. Like if somebody doesn't say or do what it is you want them to say or do, or if they're not exactly like you or the way you want them to be, it's easy to just brush them off and just say, you know what, I'm not going to deal with them. But this movie, Chantel and Patsy are so different, but yet have this love for each other despite their differences. That is the heart of this movie. Chantel asked Patsy, "Why are you so angry?" And Patsy said, "I don't know." If we were to discuss it, probably 5 different people would have 5 different ideas as to why she was as angry as she was. All of the different relationships that exist in a family is seen in this movie. The relationship between Patsy and her son Moses, played by Tuane Barrett, is one that I would have liked to have been more fleshed out. She's disappointed in him, which you find out And I won't give away all of the reasons why, but she doesn't seem to think much of her son. That's a relationship that I would have liked to have seen a little more fleshed out. The relationship between she and her husband is Curtly, played by David Weber. And he does not have much to say. I don't know if they counted his lines in this movie because he doesn't have a lot to say. And you don't really understand why he's with her or why she's with him because they don't have much in common. They don't really connect with each other. And so that's something else I would have liked to have seen fleshed out. And then here comes Chantel. And Chantel's main point in this movie is to be a part of Patsy's life. Every year, since their mother passed, they spend at least part of the day at their mother's gravesite. So you have the struggle between the two because Chantel is insistent that Patsy goes with her. And Patsy is insistent that she does not want to go. And then, of course, you have the dynamics of these two sisters and then the relationship that they both had with their mother. I found quite fascinating. And as a side, Chantel's daughters, who both have a wonderful relationship with their mother, you get a brief look into their lives. And what I took away from that, without giving away any spoilers, is they're two regular young women raised by a mother who loves them, living their life. On the other end of that, you have Moses, Patsy's son, who lives in the house with his mother and father, and yet he can't seem to find his place in the world and he is unhappy, but because who wouldn't be unhappy with a mother berating you daily? So I say all of that and you're just like, why would I go see this movie? Because I would say, why would I go see this movie? I was telling someone about it and they said, it doesn't sound like a fun movie to go see. Well, I can't say that it's fun. I will say that it's funny. I will say that it will make you think about the relationship between sisters, the relationship between mother and son, the relationship between mothers and daughters, and the relationship between a husband and a wife, because all of those dynamics are in this movie. Here it is. This is the dynamics of these people. Do with it what you must. And that's what you do. And their personalities are so very different. Their lifestyles are so very different. But her sister, Chantel, loves her despite it all. And that's hard truths. What do I give hard truths? 3.5 buckets of buttery popcorn. Is for the acting and the relationship between these two sisters that you have an opportunity to see played out on the screen. And that is just my thoughts. When you have an opportunity, I recommend that you look up Hard Truths. See where it's playing. By the time you see this, it will more than likely be on a streaming service, and I recommend that you check it out. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Reels